speech. Welcome to 1983. Welcome to together.
Technology, transportations, and telecommunications have radically changed the world we live in. Today's technology is indistinguishable from magic to a person who would have lived on Earth 100 years ago. Illnesses that were mortal in the past have suddenly become treatable, and in some cases they are even curable. It is possible to travel from one point on the planet to the opposite one in less than 24 hours. But even without leaving your home, you are able to watch what's happening and see live video from remote places on Earth. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, we are living in the future. Welcome to 1983. George Orwell was not a science fiction writer. No. George Orwell was a visionary. We are months away from reaching the state of society he pictures in his novel 1984. For those of you who have not read it, or who have never heard of an Orwellian society, let me describe it briefly to you. Society is controlled by Big Brother, who knows everything about everything. People are under constant surveillance. Thought is prohibited. We are rapidly converging to that society, and that scares me. Another thing that keeps his world together is the existence of the Ministry of Truth, which is in charge of propaganda and historical revisionism. We are rapidly getting to a world that looks scarily like the one he described in his novel. But society doesn't seem to be realizing it. Much like a frog in a pan with water put on fire doesn't realize that the water temperature is going up and it's going to be boiling soon. Big Brother is already here. And that's why I find it funny when people are scared because their online activities can be easily tracked. And they blame the internet for its privacy failures. But they don't realize that when you carry a mobile phone in your pocket, or you go to the shop and pay with a PIN or the credit card, or you go to the supermarket and use those little loyalty cards, or you are traveling with your own chip card, you are being tracked. Someone knows exactly who you are, where you are, what you are buying, and how much you're spending on it. And over time, they're building a profile that describes you much better than what you would be able to consciously give away yourself. And that has been happening for many, many years. It's happening today, now, as we speak. And I don't see anyone outraged by it. And let me tell you, it's something that is going to stay. Because it's a business that is worth millions of euros. And while that is worrying, I'm kind of okay with it. Because what the Ministry of Truth is doing is much, much more scary. Of course, we don't call it Ministry of Truth here. We prefer to refer it as the media. And we have reached a very dangerous point with media. We have an overabundance of media. Let me explain. When we were having 2 daily newspapers, we were sure that they were having time to curate through all the relevant pieces of information that had happened during the day. They were writing them down and they were delivering them in print for next day's consumption. Today, we have literally thousands of media competing for a tiny slice of their users' attention. 24/7. And the only way for media to stay relevant is to one-up their competition, which inevitably leads to a race to the bottom, where the journalism tenets of truth and fact-finding are more often than not ignored. Breaking news are based on sensationalist articles and populist topics. This is what drives today's media economy. Things that would have had absolutely no relevance a few years ago are now blown out of proportion, intoxicating the public opinion. But what people don't realize is that media are not anymore sources of reliable information. They have simply become beacons of opinion without much rigor. Having so much choice in media is also dangerous because it has turned it into an echo chamber. People can choose what they want to listen to, and people normally choose to listen just what they are happy with. The net effect it has is that you are getting a more polarized and biased view of the world. Critical thinking is a very valuable skill, but it needs to be honed and practiced. Unfortunately, people are being turned into drones, and they're just mindlessly repeating what media are feeding them. But why am I here telling this to you? I believe it's not too late to change this. We are Toastmasters. We can change it. This is my wake-up call to you. You have the skills. You are good at public speaking, and you are good at leadership. It's in our hands to prevent 1984 from becoming a reality. So please, think critically, tell others, change the world.